Hello to everyone here at the HCRS Board orientation. I'm Drew Gradinger, head of school at Kindle Farm. I apologize for not being here in person, but I'll do my best to highlight Kindle Farm's basic programs and services our school has to offer the community in which we serve. Thank you for the opportunity, and here we go. Okay, so Kindle Farm is an improved, independent school that provides an alternative, hands-on, supportive learning environment for boys grades 2 to 12. These guys have not found success in the traditional classroom setting, and as you can see by the pictures to the right, our school is anything but traditional. We're located in both Newfane and Townsend, Vermont, and we offer a combination of diverse activities, strong supervision, academics obviously, and trusting relationships that address each student's emotional, behavioral, and educational needs. So let's do some highlights. We have 2 campuses, the Onion Farm, which has our 8th grade through senior and a little beyond for students with developmental services needs, and Kindle Farm Central, which is more like an elementary school serving students grades 2 to 7. Both campuses have a mandated ratio of at least 1 adult for 3 students, which typically looks like 2 adults for 6 students in our classrooms. We're a day program only, so that means we're not residential, and that we serve 15 districts in both Vermont and New Hampshire as an out-of-district placement for students in special ed. I think it's important, since we're the only school in HCRS, to let you know that special education is a long process in the school system and starts with identifying kids who are struggling, and then to be special ed, there's a few gates you have to go through to pass, but generally it's 2 grades behind their current grade level. And so the school will see a struggling student, try to work with them. If that's not working, see if they can figure out what's going on, and maybe identify a kid in special ed, and then keep trying to meet their needs. So they'll call Kindle Farm after they've exhausted all their internal assets in meeting a student's needs. That's called least restrictive environment, where they can't handle the student's needs, but residential might not be appropriate. So we're least restrictive. We're more restrictive by definition than a public school, and you can see that in our ratio. So that's a little bit of the special education process there. So we're obligated and proud, because we do it well, to meet the requirements of a student's IEP, their individualized education plan. The structure of the day is really some of the basis for our success. So students start in homeroom from 8 to 8:30. This is where they build relationships, have social interaction, and we serve lots of healthy food. We were finding that students were coming to school, and we put academic, social, emotional demands on students, but they were hungry. And so fundamentally, we're setting them up for success, and we serve 3 meals a day by 12 o'clock noon. We also have very engaging academics that are structured for success. So what does that look like? So engaging academics means that we're multimodal, and we look at students' interests and try to make our curriculum around that. And structured for success might look like, instead of typical 60-minute classes, our classes are 45 minutes, and after 2 of them, you have a 25-minute structured break where we have more social interaction, more play, and more healthy food. We also have a ton of varied opportunities in the social, behavioral, and academic categories. We take lots of field trips. We have lots of chances for our staff to work behaviorally with students, and lots of ways to be academic, quote unquote. So we could be researching problems on our farm or exciting new projects in maple syrup and land management, and then utilizing those skill streams within the academics. Finally, we have high preference activities from 12 noon to 2 o'clock. And this is where we have our health, PE, art, and those kind of things, electives in traditional schools. But we also have the ability to do DJing at the radio station, yoga, getting paid for working, and we offer 35 activities, 35 to 40 activities a week, which is quite amazing. We are able to use those high preference activities as leverage at the end of the day. So imagine a student's kind of protesting a math assignment, but they have therapeutic horse riding at the end of the day. Well, if they're not doing their math, we might hold them back for study hall, and so the student knows this, and if they have the ability, they might work towards doing their best so that they can get to go horseback riding or be a DJ or all these other things. So it's a carrot for good behavior at the end of the day in some ways. Let's look at some fun facts. So you can see we have 52 current students enrolled at the time of this presentation. 38 of them are in our upper middle school, high school cohort in the Onion Farm, and 14 are at Kindle Farm Central. In this current iteration of staffing and students, it's almost 1-to-1 ratio, 51 staff for 52 students. There's 11 1-to-1s, you can see, and 10 behavioral interventionists or BIs. Those are also 1-to-1 ratio. That's 21 students getting 1-to-1 services, along with 11 assistants, 10 teachers, and 9 administrators that include a host of special educators, literacy specialists, behavioral coordinators, and clinical staff. Classic Kindle Farm for the 20 years is tuition-based. So we would charge a tuition for a 1-to-3 ratio. That's approximately $33,000 presently. If they need a 1-to-1, that's approximately $52,000. And really, that's almost a break-even program because the cost of a salary for a 1-to-1 plus benefits, is pretty, is about 40. So we're not using a whole lot to pay for the rest of the program. We also charge for a 25-day summer program around $4,000. Since we have merged and become one with HCRS, we're also able to leverage Medicaid in our revenue streams, which has been very important to keep the doors open. We can leverage Medicaid revenue in our behavioral interventionist BI program, in our after-school program, and with clinical services. So let's talk about the Kindle Farm goods. Behaviorally, we're relationship-based. This allows us to know our students, advocate for our students, challenge our students in an intimate and profound way. Another way to say that is it's a constant therapeutic milieu. If they're showing maladaptive behaviors or struggling, or they're showing successful behaviors and excelling, we can reinforce these positive things and we can support these challenging things. It's a very community-oriented program in that we're able to take these therapeutic afternoons, and about 50% of our students are off campus in the variety of activities in the community, whether that's Boys and Girls Club in Brattleboro, working out at the gym at either Stratton or Supreme in Brattleboro, or swimming at Edgar May in Springfield. Very community oriented. We're also non-punitive. We often find that the behaviors the students are expressing are a manifestation of their disability, and it behooves and benefits nobody to penalize these behaviors and shame them. We do have accountability. We do believe in natural consequence, and that's the way we work with students. So if you're not safe and you're so escalated you're not safe, that might make for a campus restriction that day. But if you're seeming safe the next day, it's a new slate. Every kid deserves a chance and a fresh start. Academically, we're student-centered. We know them academically. We know their desires, their interests, and can tailor the curriculum to some degree around them and their learning styles. So if they appreciate audio visual, we can do that. If they need to move around and have a kinesthetic way of learning, we can accommodate that. If they learn more through interpersonal relationships, we have the ratio to meet that need. And that allows a student not to feel like a failure and, no pun intended, kindle a pride in themselves. We have a great clinical program with 3 full-time clinicians. 46 of our 52 kids are receiving counseling services during the school day. Approximately 35 of those are with our clinicians, and then we have some adjunct clinicians as well. We have a full attended after-school program, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 5:30, and a 25-day summer program. Those afternoon activities, those therapeutic activities, are community-based, experientially based. They're ideal for building relationships. You know, my story I always tell is I'm a pretty awful basketball player. But so when I play basketball with the students, they have times when they're better at me than something, and it changes the power dynamics between adults and students, and this is very important. It's also a place to really celebrate and highlight a student's aptitudes and help them feel valued in the community and valued as learners. As they feel valued, that might allow them more resilience in the places where they've struggled in the past. And we see this pretty regularly. So what makes Kindle Farm such a special place? Well, you can see it in these photos. Authentic relationship, lots of ways to be, pride, togetherness, community. And so what makes this place a special place? Well, the answer is amazing people doing amazing things. Students and staff together creating community. Thanks for taking time to orient yourself to HCRS and the Kindle Farm program. Have a great rest of your presentation. Thank you so much.